Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Monday, March the 7th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Trading Better, Part 3. As always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And we are almost at the top of the hour. We got 8 minutes to go. We've got a big red candle here for the month, 30 pips off the low. I think you green rats are in the process of feasting. For the day, we still haven't filled the gap, the open gap. We've got 1, 2, 3 pairs that haven't filled the gap. We are below the weekly pivot here. We're still putting in the opening range for the day, which is pretty big. We're almost 100 and let's see, 100 and we'll show it in a second here, but it's over 100. We are 382 pips below the yearly open. Definitely putting in a new low for the year. Inside bar action only on the monthly. We don't really have hardly any on the daily, just a couple there and just a few on the weekly. Range 121 pips on the pound. And you can see it's just pushing down. This was what, 30 just a few seconds ago, not even a minute ago. So a lot of price action happening at the moment. And yesterday or last night, Sunday, we had a couple of short triggers. You can see it couldn't close above the weekly daily open right there and has pushed back down. As I mentioned, green rats just got a chance to get back in and feast. We see we're back up to 25. Range is definitely large enough. And we're looking at M15, but if we look at M5, there's a couple of things we can note, because some people are still trying to get a handle on this rat zone. And for some strange reason, it's taking a while to load the M5 chart. Not sure why. Computer froze up, it looks like. Well, that's interesting. I'm wondering why the computer froze. There we go. Guess it took a while to download for some reason. But you can see right here, we had a turn trade set up. Price dipped back into the rat zone. And so then you can take your chance right there at that 130, 132 line. And then you can put your stop loss down here, and you can see it was never threatened. 4 minutes to the top of the hour. And you can see we got into the launch pad a couple of times. One thing to note, we started the day above the launch pad. When it comes back down, it doesn't usually launch like it does if it starts the day below the launch pad and hit it. But you can see here we did have one launch from this level. We got into the 40s and it ran all the way up. But then you can see here it came back down to the 40s and we haven't had that same run up. And looking at the pivots, we hit the daily S2. We were below weekly S1, but for the daily, it said price near S1 long. First time didn't work. Second time worked. Third time worked. And what I mean by worked is it gave an opportunity to take some pips off the table. And as always, if you don't take your pips when you can, the market's more than happy to take it right back. Okay, monthly missed pivot so far. Weekly missed pivot so far. And daily, 2 missed pivots in a row. And we come over and we check here. 2 consecutive misses, 167. 3 consecutive 40, 4 consecutive 7. And that's out of, let me see, missed pivots. We're looking at 5,000 bars. And so out of 5,000 bars, we had 830 missed pivots and 167 2 in a row. So as you can see, 3 and 4 in a row are pretty unlikely based on statistics. As I mentioned earlier, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine. But I would be looking, if this candle definitely closes red today, I would definitely be looking to cover that pivot tomorrow. And the wick zone, in and out of the lower wick zone. And we can look at the scalper. We've got the lower high, higher low. As you can see here, we just went through 40. We came back up to 43 and fell back out. We're almost at the top of the hour. You can see we had that 3 ball there. And this looks like a return bar. Big push down. We'll see what happens. We had a lower high trigger here down at the 21, which if you got in, that would have paid off nicely. For you fib traders, you can see 3 ball to 3 ball. We've had a 50% retrace. We're doing that again. For the price action, simple trade with the Walmart lines there. We're at the top of the hour, so we've got 40 for the long, 30 for the short. We can switch over to the H1 time frame. Take a look. And so it's like we opened at 34.7. That's pretty much right in the middle. So long at 40, short at 30. It looks pretty simple from here, doesn't it? So we'll just keep an eye on that as we move through the other charts. You can see we actually hit the ATR zone. Last hour we made a low for the day. Now I wanted to show you something. Once again, looking at the one of my price turn indicators. I updated it for 2022. Made that a donation, but the regular turn indicator will show you where price turns. So here we had a price turn. We had a bearish candle, went to bullish, and then you can see here it moved on up. So some people will just jump in right at the open. Some people wait for a break of the high of the second candle here. And you see we had a turn down, but the reason that that line's already been broken, so I have it so it's erased. Otherwise, I think I've shown you this before. If you set this to false, you're going to see a lot of lines. And so you can see all these dashed lines or dotted lines. That's where the turn has been broken. And so the way when I'm looking at these at the chart, I don't necessarily have this indicator showing because I can pretty much see it without the indicator. I see that was a turn. I see that was a turn. I see it was broken. So now this is a turn. If price drops below this line, then once again you can put a trade on long and then put your stop loss right below here. Because price has already turned at that area, and we want to see if it turns again. And just reading price action, lower high, lower high. Now we've got a lower low from there, lower low from there, lower low from there. So we'll just sit and watch and wait. And this is on the 5-minute time frame. You can look at it on the 1 minute, 15. And you can see here, you got pretty much the same turn zone right there. You can look at M30, once again, pretty much the same turn zone. H1, we've already wiped out that turn zone there. So when I'm looking at this, once again, it's real simple. And so to trade better, you just wait. And then when you put your trade on, you set your stop loss. And then if the market smiles upon you, you take some profit when you can. And one thing, as I've mentioned before, I don't like trading against the M30 candle color. So right here, it opened at 347. And so right now, it looks like it could break. You can see price almost covered this M30. Looks like it might be coming back down and try to do a complete cover. If it does, then once again, you can jump in long here, put your stop loss here, and see what happens. And I'll tease you with another one of my charts that I like to use. I call this the map because this is one of the first charts I like to look at. And so just to see how it maps out, if you can see, this is the previous day. If you can see that shading, we basically have 6 H4 candles. And you can see here, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower high, lower high. But just like the missed pivots, there's a missed pivot. Here's a missed pivot. And I believe this one's a missed pivot too. Let's see, high. Come on, show me the high. 33.16. And this dot is at 33.17. So, yeah, that's a missed pivot. I'd look for these pivots to get taken out in the next day or two. That's just something that I like to look at. And I also have the strength indicator that I loaded up and modified right here a long time ago. But it's basically just looks at the strength and tells you which way to trade based on it. But what I like to say is, see if the dollar's up here, it's going to need what I call rotate. It's going to go from the top to the bottom. So I would be looking for chances to long it. And that's it.